It is a race for answers and a run for justice happening right here in Indianapolis this fall.
Yeah, we're talking about a new 5K event that's hitting the streets of Broad Ripple with a really powerful purpose. Help solve Indiana's cold cases through the power of DNA. So Pam Francis is putting this together. She was inspired by her own sister, Carmen Hope Van Huss, who lost her life to violent crime. Her case, though, was finally solved over 30 years later, all thanks to advanced DNA testing. So Pam joins us now in studio to tell us more about it. Pam, your family waited 30 years for justice. I can't even imagine how difficult that was for you.
Yeah.
What did it mean to finally get those answers from DNA?
You know, you think it's going to be this moving, life-changing event, and it really isn't. It's still, there's so much waiting left, and of course it doesn't bring her back. But we struggled during that time frame to get the DNA tested, not only because it's very expensive. It can be tens of thousands, multiple tens of thousands of dollars for one case, but also because it's not that easy to get it paid for. A civilian can't just turn up and pay for it. So that was a big struggle for us, and I feel very grateful that we are where we are, but knowing now that there's 7,000 plus other families in our state that are waiting for answers, that have been waiting a long time also, we really want to try to find a way to give back and help. So we've partnered with Crime Stoppers of Central Indiana, which is a nonprofit, as you know, so that money can be received and then given out to law enforcement to help with those DNA tests and try to find justice for those families.
What motivated you to put this event specifically together?
Well, I can't take credit for the idea. The detective who ran our case, his analyst came up with the idea, which I loved. But I just feel like it's, our family's been so blessed to receive what we have. Season of Justice is a nonprofit that paid for the DNA testing, and our detective has just been a godsend for us. And so I feel grateful for that, and I want to help other families. I mean, we've seen it in the news, right? It's not just my family. There's a lot of other families who are currently waiting on answers and want DNA testing.
7,000?
7,000, yeah.
Wow.
And I've learned that 45% of all homicides go cold on average.
Oh,
so this can really make a difference. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And there's something special about the date you're holding this 5K. It's September 20th.
It's September 20th.
What's the meaning there?
September 24th is the National Day of Remembrance for Murder Victims. So it was originally kind of tagged to that day, symbolic for that reason. But we wanted it on a weekend because it's easier for families to come and join.
Sure, makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so registration is open now. What else do people need to know to take part?
We would love for people to come and run, participate. We need sponsors, we need donors. I mean, again, it's very expensive, so the more we can bring in. If you are a family member who has a victim in your family, we're hosting a community building event afterwards in Half Liter for those families. It's a lunch and a time to kind of bond a little bit in this space because there isn't a whole lot of community around murder victims in the city that I've been able to find. So we want to try to bolster that community as well.
And we've got all the information people need to know online. We've linked your site to ours at WTHR.com.
Yep, it's DNA5K.com.
Okay. All right, such an important mission. Pam, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.